Hello, namaste. How are you all today? So, as I said in my previous video, link of that previous video is in description box in case you have not watched it yet. So, this video is about tile designs. I am sharing two basic designs and as usual plus few variation of those same basic designs. As I always say, for tile or checks designs, netting is very important. And for this tile design, grid also important as we are using 4x4 square. So it's like a row of 4 squares and column of 4 squares. So even though you do tessellation, you have to do it in multiply of 4s, at least for rows. It seems like a maths class, but let's start our first design. Watch carefully how I am drawing the netting. Maybe in beginning it might seem complicated, but when you practice then you will crack the real technique to achieve this design. And for that reason I am showing you first with pen. So you have better understanding of netting required for this design. As I said, this design is made up from 4x4 squares. That's why I drew this 4x4 grid. Then to start its netting, first I draw zigzag line on first row of square. Now following that zigzag line, I extended lines through entire square. So I'm using first this zigzag line as a guideline and then I extended another line throughout the entire square. The other way you can draw this netting is just draw mirror image zigzag line in second row. So whatever you feel comfortable. So before attempting this design, first study this netting carefully. And it's relatively easy. There is no rocket science behind it. And once you master grid and netting, you can attempt any tile designs anytime. As you can see, we created 5 adjacent diamond shaped squares using netting. I hope till this point things are clear. If not, then pause the video and see carefully what I have done. Now let's fill few of the triangles with solid color to bring out the beauty of this design. And to make things easy, we will start with center diamond square and we will fill it solid dark color. If you want here, you can use shading too. Instead of a solid fill, you can use shading. Up to you. Now we will start filling triangles in all other diamond squares. And see carefully which triangles I am filling with solid color. Now the turn of those left out corner triangles, they are like, when will my turn come? Those are not part of those diamond squares and now we will fill them with solid colors. Now I will show you two variations with same grid and netting style. With little bit of change, we can create complete new design from same thing. So what I did, I draw same 4x4 square, same netting with zigzag lines and same way we started with center diamond square. But this time we created small square within that center diamond square and rest of the thing we kept same. And now in time lapse you can watch another variation of the same style design. So my advice is first practice netting and once you understand then create the design. It's easy. Now one more time, same design if you do as bracelet. That means you have to do tessellation. If you have studied geometry, you might know that tessellation is like repetition of designs. And if you remember, I have used this style design in one of my bridal design. No problem if you don't remember right now. I will post link of that video in description box, so nothing to worry about. So whenever I see any this type of tile design, first of all I break down them in grid, then I try to follow the netting they have used, and immediately that design start taking shape in my mind. That's the same thing I request you all people to do. Now another design, and here netting is different than the first one, but like first tile, again we are using 4 by 4 grid, and that's why I draw 4 by 4 square here. Here for netting, zigzag line follows in outer sides of squares, but the center has cross sign. And if you see carefully, you can use that cross sign as a beginning guideline and draw zigzag netting for outside squares. So once netting is clear, now see how I am filling those triangles with solid color. It's like in outer sides, first triangle is filled solid, then keep one empty, and then fill two triangle with solid colors. But be very careful with those common triangles with two joining lines. As I always says, my verbal explanation could be confusing, so watch what I am doing, because that would be more clear. And in the end we have flower type of solid fill in the center. Then in the end I decided to add some little twist, so I added those extra tiny triangles. Now same design you will watch me doing on my hand using henna, and here I have created little motif type of design with more decoration around this style design. I personally like to experiment with many design, as I get bored with same and same design over and over again. So I look into grid designs, style designs, plus Xena doodling, tangle designs. They are really fascinating. But many times what happen that all the designs drawn with pencil cannot be transferred in many designs, as a few effects are easy to achieve when you are using pencil. But same design will look mess horrible if you try with henna. So I keep practicing and experimenting with designs and try to find variations that can be achieved using henna cone. So same thing I will suggest to all of you, that spread your horizons and beyond conventional designs. Sometimes something works and sometimes few things fail, but from your failure also you will learn something. Wow. Failure teaches us what actually does not work, but open more options that could work. The only key is patience and practice. The moment you drop these two, then you actually fail. Otherwise, you are just progressing towards your goal. So keep progressing, keep excelling in whatever you enjoy doing. So, on that note, I take your leave now till we meet again. See you everyone. Bye till next time. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. See you. Or whoever, like other painters who have more control over brush. So the feeling is exactly same. And when I keep telling my viewers that practice is the only way, the same thing I understand